Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a bench press day. So let's get right into it. I started filming with my peak set, no warm-ups. Went to 335 because I felt really strong today. I felt like there was a chance I might be able to PR this weight. We did PR 315 last time with 8 reps. Just wasn't happening today, and I was kind of surprised because I felt really strong. Right, look at those first couple reps too. Right, the first 3 reps, I'm like, oh, this is so easy. Rep 4, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, this is getting heavy. Rep 5, went to do it, good pause, and then my triceps really started limiting me. Now, looking at that footage that moved fast enough, some people would say, you could have got a 6 rep. I don't know that that's the case, and therein lay the problem. And again, it felt entirely like a tricep limitation, both in terms of my triceps were really hurting on that 5th rep and the bar path. In other words, I struggled the midway point to maintain a bar path that was low enough down. It really was drifting up towards my face more quickly than is ideal. And again, my triceps were on fire while doing that. So what does that tell us? It tells us that my delts are trying to compensate for my triceps. So we're still in a situation like I assessed last time to where triceps are a limit. Okay, and it makes sense that the strength drops off as we add weight, right? Because as we get closer to the percentage of a 1 rep max, what happens? Triceps get more involved in the bench press. Okay, so when I'm dealing with an 8+ rep max, it is going to be more pectoral dominant. My chest has grown a lot. It's noticeably bigger. My clothes are noticeably different in the way they feel. Around the chest, certain fitted clothing. So absolutely, my chest has come up. Triceps have to have the work, which is what I assessed already over a week ago, and I saw it come out when I went up in the weight. To the point where I felt like my chest is strong enough to have done more work there. Triceps were not. They simply ran out of steam. I've got to build their size. I have to build their work capacity up. Okay, so that's what we're going to keep working on. And to get to the goals that I need, that's what it's going to take. Again, right there, looking at that, I haven't plugged it into a calculator, but I bet I need at least 2 more reps. Just like to get to my goals with 315, I need to get to 10 reps. I'm at 8. It's my best set. We start looking at that, I bet I'm going to need around 7 reps, just a ballpark estimate. And again, I feel like I'm kind of stuck at 5. So how do we fix it? We work triceps. Benching, though, I've noticed again, I'm running out of steam after those peak sets, and everything feels lit up. My chest, everything else feels just hammered on these other sets. And my triceps do as well, but I've got to build their work capacity. So pretty much my training at this point is going to be, again, a lot of tricep work, a lot of upper back work, and then bicep and grip work, because that was the other thing I noticed on that set. My biceps were really hurting on that peak set, as in they were struggling to contract to stabilize the way that I need them to stabilize. So here's what it comes down to. What's limiting me on deadlifts? It's not lower body. Absolutely not lower body. It's mostly grip. Okay, so a lot of my bicep training will handle grip. My primary movers that are limiting me, I feel like on the bench, at least on those peak sets, triceps. So everything is arms, right? Everything is arms. And I think most of us agree, just looking at my overall balance, my arms are actually, across the board, still my weakest body part. And it shows on my lifts. Grip and forearms limiting deadlifts. Now keep in mind I have an elite deadlift, so when we say they're limiting it, it doesn't mean I don't already have a grip strength to handle an elite deadlift. It's that my grip is limiting my deadlift for me personally. Same thing on my triceps. I have strong triceps. I mean, you guys saw me bench 315 for 8 reps earlier this week. Hey, you can't do that with weak triceps, especially not with arms as long as mine. They need to get stronger. So really, it's a lot of arm work at this point. It doesn't mean we don't train pecs. We're training pecs with pause benching. Doesn't mean we don't train lats. We're training them with rows. but there's a lot more geared towards towards biceps, at least upper back in there. Grip, triceps. Now the beauty of the power curls, they work the upper back. You get a lot of trapezius involvement in those. A lot of trap. It's not just bicep and grip. The grip is quite intense too, though. I'm also going to need to add other stuff in. I'll look at that and say, well, since these are weak body parts, is one exercise going to cover it? Of course not. I will probably need to rotate some hammer curls in and figure out what days I'm going to do what. Okay. But all of that has to come up for the deadlift. And then triceps on the bench. Now the thing is, how do we accommodate building more chest and everything? People will also point out, well, don't you still need more chest and delt for your bench? Absolutely, but if triceps are limiting my hardest sets, and we get the triceps bigger, what happens? The load on the pecs, the load on the delts goes up because we can now bench more. We can also do more total workload per set on pause benching. Well, that means it'll come along anyways. That's the thing I always tell people. When we're dealing with hypertrophy of a big exercise, a big multi-joint exercise, if you increase the weakest link with other exercises, everything will grow. Why? Because your total workload will go up on the big movements. And if that goes up and the weak link becomes stronger, you can now accommodate more work. The weak link isn't giving out. It will allow the other muscles to then work harder. But in this case, we grow in such a manner that will give us the most performance. So again, in this case, we need more arms. I need more arms across the board. Grip, triceps, everything. Because what is grip training? Grip training is arm training. I mean, even curls, any curls are even part of your grip training. They can be. In this case, I'm just doing slightly more grip intensive curls. All right, finished up a band press downs. I went light with Skullcrusher, so that's the other thing too. It's going to be hard to bring the triceps up till I can keep the tendons healthy. My tendons got a little inflamed. I've backed the weight down on Skullcrushers, and now I'm bringing it back up. If it becomes an issue again, what am I going to have to do? We're going to have to use dumbbells or something else, and I may rotate those in anyways, right? So that we get a different tricep movement. But Skullcrushers are so effective, so if you can do them, we should. But I think that I just need to bring them back up carefully this time, load them slower. And in the meantime, we use all this to bridge the gap. This will increase the work capacity, it will increase the workout strength. But the other thing is it will increase general hypertrophy on the back end. People can argue whatever about my ranges of motion or things failing certain parts of it with bands. It's largely irrelevant because it's not the main exercise either. If we're still doing the extensions, we're getting that deep stretch position that we want. Everything's working, and then we're using this to just build far more additional metabolic fatigue. Triceps can handle more volume than a lot of muscles in the upper body, though, in general. They're going to get the most volume thrown at them. But it's easier to recover from volume with stuff like bands. Of course, we're doing Skullcrushers. But this combination will work really well. So if your bench is being limited by triceps, and then you're coming in and doing something like a Skullcrusher, which is extremely effective, arguably one of easily top 3 tricep exercises, it can be a little hard on the elbows, and then you're doing all this work to build the tendons to let you load those more effectively and get additional work and also lockout strength on the triceps. It's a great combination. This is sort of stuff is the reason I've been able to get the bench up. But we have to do all of it in the context of recovery. Like how much benching and things can I really recover from? And can my shoulders handle it? And that's the thing I do notice too. A little bit of shoulder. It's not bad, but I am noticing the fatigue just with the benching I'm doing. Why? Because we're limited by triceps, so it makes it harder on the shoulders. So we need to fix that. So I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.